WeBuyCars listed on the main board of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange this morning under the share code WBC. The company's share opened at 20 rands per share, above the initial public offering price of 18 rands 75 cents a share, which implied a total market capitalization of 8.3 billion rand at the open. The stock is currently trading at around 20 rands 31 cents. SABC Markets presenter Nastassia Arendse spoke to the CEO, Faan van der Walt.
I'm feeling elated. I must say it's a big day for us. It's a huge milestone for WeBuyCars.
So let's talk about the opportunities that are in front of you. I think it's been quite an interesting journey, and perhaps even before we get to those opportunities, take me through the evolution of WeBuyCars, because it was quite interesting for you to mention, 23 years. It's a long time for you to get to this moment.
Yeah, it's been a very exciting journey. I think the word you used, evolution, is exactly the right word, because we look a lot different today from where we started way back in our garage, buying and selling 1 and 2 cars a month. We've learned a hell of a lot over the years, not only about the industry, but about ourselves as well. And I must say, the growth of the company was spurred on by us just focusing on what we did every day. We never ever borrowed money. We kept the profits within the business, and it grew organically. And then later on it reached a stage where we couldn't do everything ourselves anymore, and that's when we started employing buyers and salespeople and scaling the business somewhat, and also geographically moving into other provinces. And that all fueled the growth of WeBuyCars. Today, it's a big machine. We have close to 3,000 employees, and we buy and sell around 14,000 cars a month. So yeah, a big business, big enough to list. So yeah, we're very proud of where we are, but we believe that the best years are yet to come.
Let's talk about the macro fundamentals right now. It's not a particularly easy road, I suppose, when we look at things from an economic growth perspective. But at the same time, we've seen that spike in interest rates from 2022. How have you had to sort of shift in position to sort of adapt to what we're currently seeing play out?
Yes, it's always interesting to watch these cycles, because where it's felt the hardest is in new vehicle sales, which, as we all know, currently is in a bit of a slump because of high interest rates. It's just so expensive to buy a new vehicle. And then these cycles change again. People start buying new vehicles again once interest rates drop. And that's then good, because individuals who are hanging onto their vehicles now buy new vehicles, and those used vehicles then feed the used car market. In essence, the car pool is growing all the time. Whether we have buoyant new vehicle sales or sluggish new vehicle sales, the pie is growing, and we're sitting with around 11 million vehicles on the South African roads, and according to our calculations, about 1.8 million of them will change hands on a yearly basis. So it's a large number of trades that will happen, and a huge opportunity for WeBuyCars to continue to grow our market share.
With that said, then, just take us in here. How many cars do you sell on average a month, and how do you look to scale that up in the next, say, couple of years or so?
Right now, we're trading around 14,000 vehicles per month. Looking back 4 years ago, that number was around 7. So we've managed to double the amount of vehicles we trade monthly in a period of about 4 years. So we'll continue with the same ambition and endeavour to double that again over the next 5 years. The market is large enough, considering that about 150 used vehicles change ownership every month. So we estimate our market share currently to sit at around approximately 12%-ish. So yeah, we'll do that by doing more of the same. We will open more facilities. We'll continue to develop our technologies to try and make the stock turn even quicker to what it is right now. Our stock turn is extremely quick. We turn all our cars in about 30 days, but we also believe that we can cut a few days there, and just taking the service that we've been offering to the broader market. I think one of the advantages is that the public now understands WeBuyCars. You know, it takes a while for people to catch on to a brand and know what the brand means, what they can do for you, and how can I use this to my own benefit. And yeah, it's catching on, and we continuously gaining momentum.
A little bit earlier on, when you were talking about how the business has evolved, you touched on the geographic aspects of things. Is the focus now to still remain within the SA region, or do you look at other markets and say, well, maybe things might be potentially interesting outside of SA?
For now, the focus would solely be on South Africa, because this is what we know, this is where the opportunity is, and this is where we can have our easiest growth. It's a low-hanging fruit. However, we love trying out different things. We always do. So we have recently started in Namibia successfully. So some of the southern African countries we'll probably delve into as well. But never say never. We're always open to new ideas. But we really don't want to lose focus on the goose that lays the golden egg, and that's the South African market.
In a market like this, where people talk about the listing requirements and the costs and the compliance, etc., how do you weigh the pros and cons of listing?
Yeah, I think talking to all my friends and colleagues, they said, oh, you got to be careful being listed because it comes with a lot of bureaucracy. Now, we've been fortunate that over the last 4 years, we've been part of a listed entity, namely as a subsidiary of Transaction Capital. So we already had all the compliance, all the committees and so on. So we're used to this landscape. It's just that now, instead of running behind the pavilion, we'll be running in front, under the spotlights, doing what we've been doing all along.